Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Luxury Live Show. With me, I've got Amy, and Happy New
Hi.
Year. Wow, it's
Happy New
been,
Year, long time no see. It feels like forever, right? It feels like, I don't know, it feels like a whole month or something. It's been such a long time.
yeah, such a long time. My gosh, I was thinking, like, how we get back into it. And in fact, just a funny story. It's because it feels so long. We had a little bit of I had a bit of technical issue. I was like, where is the setting button?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, welcome to the Luxury Live Show. If you are new to this live stream, we have this every week, alternatively on our channel, so on Amy's channel and my channel. So you got to subscribe to both of us. And on this live stream, for just about 2 hours, we chat about everything to do with luxury. So handbags, definitely
And
that's one,
anything in
and,
between as well.
and everything in
Sometimes
between.
we just talk about like things that are not really related, but it just moves on to like other subjects, and it's really fun. I'm seeing a lot of the familiar names. I want to say faces, but I there's actually no faces. I miss you guys too. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
we miss you. My
MK,
God,
Krista,
yeah.
anyway, yeah, you guys, TT.
Thank you for coming back. We were thinking, like, oh, how what do we talk about? Because we've been planning, like, what do we talk about the first time, and so we have a topic for everyone. We've got a bit of slides, so we'll start with that, and then we will go into the best part of the live stream, which is to chat with all of you, answer your questions, especially the start of the year. I think we have a different kind of maybe a mindset, so we can talk about that. So, what do we have? I'm going to just share my screen, and let me just.
Yeah, like I think while we were deciding like what to talk about, I was telling Kat, I was like, 2020 was a lot. A lot of things happen, a lot of just personal things, a lot of things that involved everyone in the world, and it kind of made me reflect on everything in terms of like I was planning for my best and worst purchases videos and stuff like that, but it really got me thinking, right? So we're like, let's reflect back on what happened in terms of what we did in our luxury journey in 2020, and then see you know what we can change maybe in 2021 or make it better, or I don't know. Let's just chat about it.
Yeah,
So
let's
yeah.
totally chat about it. Okay, so hang on. I'm control. Today is me, and I'm always a bit lagging. All right, so before we start the thing, just a quick reminder, because it's been like a year, no, like a few weeks that we're not here. So just in case you are new, we have this new live stream on a different platform. So you can put the at Cat L or Fashionably Amy, but we can't actually see it. So start your questions with to us with a bunch of question marks so that I can pick it out in the chat, and we can just answer your question. So we're gonna start off with luxury in 2020. Like Amy said, reflect a little bit on what happened last year, and I'm gonna let Amy start.
All right, sounds good. Okay, so this was my slide. I put something that I think a lot of us felt in 2020, especially there were kind of, a couple of really crazy price increases at LV, at Chanel, all the luxury houses we're seeing, uh, uh, you know, crazy price hikes. And at the same time, a lot of businesses were closed. Like, the economy was kind of going crazy a little bit. And part of me, while I was reflecting back, felt like, uh, you know, I tried my best to make the best decisions in terms of my luxury journey, but part of me was uh, f- like I had a bit of fear of missing out when I bought certain items that I'm gonna share in my worst luxury purchase video, which is coming up next week. Anyway, so an example of fear of missing out is the houndstooth Chanel tweed mini that I bought. It's like, I don't know why it's a bag that I haven't still used. Of course, because during COVID, I didn't really want to use a fabric bag. But part of me also bought it because, of course, I love the houndstooth, and it was very iconic and everything, and it was a mini flaps, one of my favorite shapes. But part of me was thinking, did I really need to buy it at that time? Because I never even used it. Part of me feels guilty. Part of me also knew that I was afraid of, if I didn't buy it, then I wouldn't have the chance to get it again. So I bought it anyway. And I guess we're like, when I was talking to Kat, I was like, oh, like, is this a bag that I really, really, really need in my collection? I guess not, because I do already have 2 other mini flaps that I actually do use more, the square black one and caviar, and the red one, the raspberry one. So I want to know if you guys, if there was part of you that was afraid of missing out and made purchase decisions based on that, and maybe regretted it. I don't know. Like, I'm not saying that I'm regretting it, but part of me is still feeling a bit of guilt for not using it. So maybe we need to do better for 2021. What's going to happen? Like, prices are going to keep going up. There's going to be another one, I think. Chanel's coming up, apparently. Rumors have it. LV just did theirs. How are we going to conquer this fear?
Here.
Yeah, we'll talk
Actually,
about that later, I guess.
I didn't know. I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know that your houndstooth was sort of called, well, not caused by this, but it was purchased because you had this. I didn't know. This is interesting. This is interesting because
You know why? Because I made a couple of mistakes before when it comes to mini flaps, because mini flaps are so hard to get, right? They're just the hardest. They're probably the hardest handbag to get at Chanel, because they're still the more well-priced handbags, but they're super coveted because they're super easy to wear. They're very, very versatile, and everybody can wear a mini flap. Like, there's nobody that cannot wear a mini flap, no matter how tall or whatever shape you are. Like, everybody can wear it. So that alone is very, like, the fact that it's very hard to get, and I was able to still get it, I was like, I'll just get it anyway, because think later and just get it now type of thing, right? So unless I did not tell my essay that I wanted it, then I guess I wouldn't have known that I could have gotten it. But part of me was, wanting to get it because I knew how hard a mini flap is to get in the first place. And it is a houndstooth and a fabric bag that I normally don't have any experience with. And the fact that I couldn't wear it this whole year. Well, I didn't want to wear it anyway this whole year. So there's a bit of everything, I suppose. So yes, fear of missing out is part of the equation for sure. Does it make sense to you guys?
definitely does. Definitely.
Okay, let's keep moving on. Okay. Oh my goodness, price increase buying. I think all of us are guilty of that. Especially, I feel like there was a couple of examples in my case, except that one worked out super well because I ended up using it so much. So the Louis Vuitton multi-pochette accessoire, there was another imminent price increase when I wanted to get it. And I was kind of just lucky that I kept on stalking the website, and it came online. I bought it right away, and it ended up being a great purchase because I used it a lot. And it was my pandemic bag. So no regrets there. It kind of just got lucky a little bit. But obviously it was an influence purchase too. And I was, didn't want another price increase to come up before I got it and tried it for myself. I guess the part where I felt a bit more guilty about price increase buying is my trendy CC. Because my trendy CC, I never even used it, like not even once. So it's going to show up in my video next week. And so it's kind of I'm very conflicted because I still love the bag. I absolutely love the shape. I absolutely love the lambskin. I absolutely just love everything about it. Of course, 2020 is the reason why I did not use it, because I don't want to have to deal with cleaning a lambskin bag. It's just not my jam. But at the same time, it's a lot of money. I think we can all agree on that. And I think we probably all make mistakes like that. So, yeah, it's one of those other things. Like every mistake that you make, it adds up, right? So I don't want to call them mistakes, but it makes me think. It makes me ponder. What do we do in 2021? Do we just not buy it and wait till we absolutely have that need and then get it, regardless of price increases? Or do you just get it anyway and deal with it later? So
This is a good one. Actually, this is a very good point because, like you said earlier, right? LV is having a price increase or had a price increase.
yeah,
Actually, all the
yesterday.
yesterday, and yeah, I saw it online as well in Singapore. It's the prices have gone up, and I also saw, I think Hermes went up every January. They go up a little bit,
Mhm.
and it's just, what do we do?
Yes, and I'm actually just seeing a comment that Neil is saying that we can just sell it. True, but it's part of the whole journey too. Like we keep on saying, I think both Kat and I keep on repeating ourselves that selling is really a difficult thing to do, and it's very aside from all the work that you need to do, which is fine. I'm fine with doing the work, but the risk is what I'm not as crazy about. Like the risk of shipping it and losing it in transit, the risk of dealing with a not so nice buyer or maybe a scammer, the risk of anything like that is associated with selling is something to consider as well. So yeah. Anyway, that's not what I was going to talk about, but like it is still something that, that's why we will discuss in the 2021, like what should we do about this?
Okay. This
Okay, my last point that I sort of brought up is self-justification. So I'm sure we all do that too. Like sometimes you're just not sure about something, but you kind of like it, and then but you might not necessarily need it. You just kind of like it, and you give yourself all the reasons why you should just get it, and then you get it, right? So one of the examples that I wanted to bring up was my Louis Vuitton Spring Street bag, which is a beautiful, really well-made bag. But it was not a bag that I actually wanted to get myself. Like I wasn't even, it was not on my radar at all. It was just something that I considered later on because I had a faulty bag and they took it back and they didn't find a replacement because it was the Palm Springs Mini. It was still very difficult to get at this point. And so I basically was forced to choose something else that they had available at the store. They were also not willing to just keep on waiting because I just wanted to wait till maybe a Palm Springs Mini came back. But they said, it's best to do it right away, blah, 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 blah. Like it's just a local store policy, I suppose. And the Spring Street was a bag that I kind of thought, oh, maybe I can consider this because it's really, really well made. It was very well priced for what it is. And while I was there, I was wearing this dress that totally matched it when I was trying it. So it really didn't help that I fell in love with it at that moment. But now that I've had it for a while, I realized that it's so similar to everything that I have, like all the dressier bags from Chanel. If there was an occasion for me to get dressy and to wear a bag like that, I would gravitate towards my Chanel because I'm that brand loyal. So every time I went to try to grab that Spring Street, I put it back and I just want to grab my Coco handle instead. Like it's that kind of scenario. But while I was there and contemplating the Spring Street, and that's the final decision I made to take that home, I was telling myself, well, it's well made, it's well priced, it's this, it's that, you know, it's, I don't have this material, it's such a great style, it's like so unique. I justified all these things, but did I really want that in the first place? No. So self-justification is a dangerous path. And yeah, I'm definitely realizing that I did a little bit of that when it came to yeah, some of my luxury purchases in 2020 for sure.
Yeah. I think all of us do when we buy something. It
Yeah,
doesn't even have to be a luxury bag, you know. Sometimes you buy furniture for your house. You're like, oh, actually, I do need. We never need anything, but
true.
we do it a lot. Like, and I think I don't know whether like only 2020. Like for me, if I was looking at this, I think I do it all the time. But if I were to look at 2020, maybe I did a little bit more. Like this whole self-justification, and I agree with everything that you said, and I feel like I do have a lot of a bit of everything that you have as well in 2020.
Yeah, and I think it's normal to do any of those things. Honestly, I probably did all of those things for any of my purchases, but um I guess I brought up the example of the Spring Street because it was really a bag that I convinced myself that I'm like, I should just take that, because not only was I pressured in a time for like a shorter time frame to choose anything, and I didn't want to just choose, like it's like you have to choose something, but what are you going to choose if you already have the bags that you wanted from LV, and you know what I mean? So it's kind of almost forced a little bit. I think it's okay to do a little bit of all that, even in all the other, you know, all the successful purchases that you made. But this one was a little bit forced, I have to admit.
Mhm.
Me forcing myself.
All right, thank you. So for me, as I reflect on my 2020 purchases, I think for me, one of my, and I have shared about this previously, as an own personal issue that I have. I do a lot of emotional shopping. Something that I know I have, but I feel like in 2020, I just let loose. Um, I thought about it. I said that, in 2019, I was on a low buy, no buy. No, I don't want to say no buy. I want to say a low buy journey. And I was kind of like on a good, train. Then 2020 came, and 2020 is like something that I want to write out from my book. But I feel like that caused me to feel really bored, um, continuing from my journey, not justifying on my shopping, but I'm just feeling like, I think that was one of the things that made me just do more than what I wanted to do and go against what I planned to do. And shopping became an escape because I was just, yeah, so sick of everything that was happening, not just from the pandemic, but in my own um, personal journey. So definitely, maybe, okay, no, not definitely, maybe one day this year I will share. And of course, Amy knows what happened. But yeah, this year has been a little bit of a shithole for me. Excuse my language. But I did a lot of escapism shopping this year, and I did a lot of it at my lowest bored time. And something that I know, and in something that I actually allowed to happen in 2020. But now that 2021 is here, and I am mindful of it even more so, and really feeling extremely guilty. I think it's something that I need to fix this year moving forward. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I can see Shanna's like revenge shopping. Actually, I didn't do revenge. Actually, no, I won't say it's revenge shopping, Shanna. Revenge shopping means I just went, all right, let's go shop. But I did more of like escape shopping because um I wanted to just not think about stuff, so I escaped from it. Revenge is sort of like rebelliousness of it. So I just feel in that perspective, I was a bit of an emotional shopper this last year. Not sure if any of you went through that, but no, pandemic is definitely something that was a domino effect for many things that happened last year. So it just escalated into shopping for me, and yeah, something that 2021 has got to fix. Okay, yeah, go ahead, Amy.
Oh, I was gonna say, it's a good point that you brought up boredom and escapism, because I think, even though I didn't mention it, I think I can say that for even everyone in the audience here, that we probably all felt that. Maybe shopping is what your outlet was, but for me it would be like junk food eating. It would be like literally like vegging out and just watching K-drama after K-drama like nonstop, like until the morning, and then going to bed in the afternoon type of thing. Like it's just been a very heavy year. Yes, you share with me your personal things, but I think, yeah, just even on the emotional, mental level, with I guess every part of the world is a little different, but like in North America, there's still, a lot of cases. It's still not under control. Actually, two of our provinces is under like heavy lockdown and curfews and things like that. It's just very depressing, So yeah, I totally understand where you're coming from. I might have actually done some boredom shopping, but it's all online since I can't even go out. So
yeah, it's actually, it's almost borderline depressing, because
yeah,
I didn't want to use the word depressed, because I feel that's a very heavy word,
yeah,
and it's, there's so much more to that. So bored is just like at that, it's that borderline going like, oh my gosh, what is going on? And it's very mentally draining. So there's all these little things that we do, whether it could be like lying down watching K-drama. Maybe I should start watching K-drama because that would take me off from shopping. But I don't watch K-drama because I know if I start, it's gonna be really
It's very bad for your health though. Like it screws up my whole sleep. Like I never, not that I ever had good sleep patterns anyway, but like I'm just that bad that I can just literally keep on watching till, yeah. You don't want to know when I go to bed sometimes.
Okay, so I'll continue with the price increase buying, and my example, and I think all of you know, is my mini reissue.
Yes.
It's never, well, it's not on my wish list, but it's been on my radar. It's like something that I'll have, yeah, I don't mind having a rectangular mini. And then people say, the Clara was also saying that, it's really good for the mini reissue. And I do feel like when I tried it on, I thought, yeah, it's really nice. The chain is beautiful. But did I need to buy it like before the price increase? It was such a compulsive, yeah, like just went out and buy it, and it's definitely a price increase made me do it thing. My JUC is definitely one as well, though my JUC is something that I wanted, right? But my Chanel mini reissue is 100% a price increase purchase. It's just, yeah, it just popped out from nowhere, right? So
I think you feel that one is more relevant because you're not using the bag.
yeah, and I'm not.
Exactly how I feel. Like I've never used my trendy. I've never used my houndstooth. I actually use my Lady Dior, but only going to family's house. So does that really count? Like technically not really, right? So I see where you're coming from. It's also the guilt associated with, not only did you buy it because you were, I was afraid that, I didn't want to take another price increase, but also the fact that, okay, now that I have it, it's not being used. So you feel guilty about it.
Extremely guilty. Like I don't feel guilt. I feel guilty, my JUC, but I'm loving it because I'm using it. So, and it's just that I'm getting my, satisfaction 6 months earlier. But with the mini reissue, I feel that I will love it like extremely, like a lot when I start to use it. But the thing is, I'm not using it, and I bought it because I was like pushed. I feel a little bit pushed, and it's not, nobody did it, right? Nobody shoved me into the Chanel store. It was like me going, let's do it. Price increase. We don't want to take price increase. So it's a little bit of that self justification as well. But take this price increase away, I don't think I would have ever bought it. Maybe this year, or maybe next year, something like that. So this news about price increases a little bit too much in 2020, it sits very heavy on me. It's like it's borderline annoying.
It is.
Okay. Okay. Something, well, not, I want to bring this not so from a negative perspective. I'm more like, in 2020, I found a new interest, right? So for years and years and years, I only love to buy handbags and SLGs. But in 2020, I think with the boredom and escapism, I found two new interests. One is definitely, I think all of you know, I'm now rolling down that hill of fine jewelry. It's so dangerous. And I am starting to like ready to wear a little bit more, which is so dangerous as well. But I think it hasn't peaked yet. But my new interest in 2020 for fine jewelry really, really just exploded. I think with the little bit of jewelry here and there. And I just thought I really enjoy it. And this new interest made me realize something that okay, wait, let me start again. So with the new interest, it's very expensive, right? So I need to like sell things to fund for it, or at least partially fund for it. But that action of funding things made me realize that I don't want to buy stuff to collect. Like I realized when I looked at my collection in 2020, I wasn't getting a lot of and I shared this in the video, I wasn't getting a lot of satisfaction from some of my luxury items, the things that I bought when I really loved them, right? I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to buy my multicolor Speedy, keep it forever for a collection. But this new interest actually sparked something in my mind for 2020, like, why am I buying stuff to collect? And that's going to take us through in my 2021 discussion. But this new interest, to me, positive and negative. Positive, it made me relook at my collection. But negatively, it is very, very expensive. So something that I have to manage in the coming year or this year.
Yeah, I totally see your pattern in the fine jewelry new interest. Well, because we chat obviously, and I don't know if that's a bad thing though. Like I wonder, because if you already love it and you keep using those things, I guess that's why we're here to discuss these things that, you know, kind of affected our luxury shopping in 2020. Is it really a bad thing? Is there anything that we need to change about it? Or yeah, what kind of, I suppose like I was reading some of the comments while you were talking, and then I was seeing like a lot of people were saying, yeah, I had serious FOMO as well. Jamel Sydney is saying, and then some other people were also saying like fear of missing out or price increases. I think it really did affect all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Totally.
I think go ahead.
No. So why don't you start? Maybe you can give your one or two of your luxury mindsets for 2021. You can.
Sure. So yeah, I think for me, like I said, I'm still conflicted. I'm undecided about the price increase things and the FOMO thing, because deep down I do love my minis, and deep down I did want my trendy CC. Like I did decide that it was going to be a bag that I would want to be in my collection, as well as the Lady Dior. But you know, part of me still felt guilty that it was never used. Of course, this pandemic thing is not going to be forever, I hope. So eventually we'll get to use our things. But when we do find out and when we do start using our things, what if those things did not end up working for us? Because we still don't know, right? If you haven't used it, you don't know if it's going to end up working for you. So that's why I'm pondering for 2021, should I just wait? Like, unless I have an immediate need, let's say I need something, then yes, of course, go ahead, buy it, whatever. But if you don't need it right now, even if there was a price increase, even if it's hard to get, would you buy it now? Should I get it now? I'm almost not sure if I should, because and then what is the guideline? Is it because is it a wish list perhaps? But those things were part of my wish list too. I guess not the houndstooth, but like, you know, the trendy CC was part of my wish list. The Lady Dior was part of my wish list. So where do I draw the line? And I almost don't know. What would you do if you were me?
You know, it's hard because, you know, at the start of the year, right? We, like for you, I think you're also trying to set your mindset, like what do you do, because it's still 12 months, right? And
Yeah.
things could change. You could start using your things, and then, you know, things, it's so many what ifs. Um
And
Maybe
there's also the
hypothetical.
lost opportunity cost, right? The
Yeah.
opportunity cost of all those things, money that you spend, because these are not inexpensive things, right? 2 or 3 of those bags equal a Dream Birkin or a Dream Kelly. The opportunity cost also is where I'm pondering about too. Obviously, it's not like I can start my Hermes journey if I'm not going to step into the store, which I'm not going to do right now because we're still, you know, it's still kind of not very stable here. But when I am ready, then I'm stuck with having to deal with these things that you know, I either decide whether it's great in my collection or not. Like, so yeah, I'm gonna let you continue your train of thought.
Okay. I think it's hard, you know, but I wanted to be more strict, like for myself, because anyway, I did do that video. If you haven't watched it, I did a video of my purging of my 6 items, and I think that video was more of me sharing of something that I was going through even earlier on in 2020. Like I did share with you, Amy. Remember, I was saying, oh, maybe I should sell my multicolor speedy bag. Remember, yeah, we were talking
Yeah,
about
I
it.
actually did watch your video, and then yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I mean, I was saying that I might consider selling it, but it wasn't something that I just overnight thought of. Like I wanted to sell, and the multicolor speedy for me was something that when I bought it, my mindset at that time was something that I wanted to collect, and I really love that bag. So it, I think for 2020 and also moving forward, one of the things that I would say I'm 90%. I mean, a 10% is, you know, just because I have one item in my collection that I don't think I can let go yet, but 90% sure that I think my journey moving forward, and I feel I'm quite confident to say this, is that I don't really want to buy things for collection. Like, mm, like my collection is very complete. Like I have everything I want, and I don't even have time to use everything I want. It's not that I won't use it. Eventually I will. Like let's say the mini reissue, I may use it. But I have such a comprehensive collection that I want to be able to add things into my collection, but that have use for me. And therefore, one thing that I don't want to buy anymore is things to collect. So I'm quite certain on that for my journey moving forward in terms of a luxury mindset. Um and One of the things that I may need to relook at, like for 2021, is actually my wish list. Because I feel like even though we did that video with the wish list, that time I may have added things in that wish list. I have to look at it again, but may have added things in that wish list that I want to just collect, and I feel like this hoarding lives, this mentality needs to be fixed, and I'm trying to fix it, especially when I like to treasure things. So that's just a personal growth, but something that I need to figure out. But coming to your point about chasing price increases, or should I buy it before the next price increase, if it's already on my wish list. I really thought about I really thought about it, and I'm going to try something this year for 2021. um to I don't know how it's going to pan out, but I'm going to try not having a wish list. So we had that wish list discussion, right? And I want to relook at it,
Mhm.
but I really want to relook at it in such a way that it's almost I'm like trying to clear it out to almost a nothing wish list, because I feel that when I have a wish list, there's the pro and con, right? It makes me more focused, but it also makes me more agitated. Like, am I reaching my wish list? And if a price increase comes, I feel like I am chasing it. So it's an experiment that I want to try when I relook at my wish list. So when I buy things in the coming year, which I hope I'll buy less since we did a very massive amount of shopping in 2020, I want to buy it if I really like feel there's use for it and I have really thought about it. So it's not really a wish list item. I don't know if I'm making sense. I just feel like when I have a list of things I want to get and a price increase comes, I get very excited and worried that
Yes.
I cannot buy it now. I can't buy it later because the price is so much. And I have this, set of like a board of things that I need to get everything. But then I step back from that board and ask myself, do I need any of these? So a little bit like you, right? You're trying to figure out this whole shopping situation.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that's me sharing a little bit.
I actually really loved when you say that um, not having a wish list because it makes you excited and also crazy. Like, because that's how I feel. It's so true because when you have these goals and whenever you don't achieve a goal, it doesn't feel very good. So maybe not having that goal, then you won't have to think about it even if there was an imminent price increase. Obviously,
Exactly.
we preach here, at least I say, only get it when you're ready and if you can afford it. But I think that's not where we are trying to avoid, because that's not even an issue. Like, that's not the real issue. The real issue is the guilt of, like, where do you draw the line? That's where we're, I guess, trying to talk about. So I love the fact that you said maybe not having that wish list will help. I also love what you said about not getting things just to collect. I totally agree with that because I guess going back to, for example, the houndstooth that I decided to get, there was a part of me that self-justified that I needed it because it's something different and it's like a very iconic print. The other justification is that I love my minis, so why not? And of course, there was, gonna be a price increase anyway. Like, I think when I got it, there was no price increase yet, but it was, we just know there will be one. Um, so yeah, maybe I should do that too. Like, no more things to collect. Like, no more things to collect, because what's the point of collecting if you're not going to use it? Which is
Mm,
why I said earlier also is, if I have the need for it, even if it's a luxury item, you can still like have the need for it, I suppose. Like, if you're going to use it right away, I think that's my yeah, that's how I should be doing. Like, if I buy it, if I'm not going to open it tomorrow and use it, why should I buy it now? Like, if
yeah.
I'm going to open it, buy it, open it right away and use it like right away, then yes, it's a good purchase, and then I should feel good about it. And these things that happen, whether, these things won't matter as much. So yeah, very, very good point.
No, I feel like the word wish list, because when we were doing this video, I was thinking about, what could make it easier on my mental luxury self. Is that I was thinking about it, like, why am I always feeling that I want the next thing? Right?
True.
I'm not saying that I want to be at purse peace, because I love looking at, we love looking at Chanel. We love dreaming about the next bag. It's amazing. I mean, it's fun, right? It's fun. And it's like also setting a little wish list. But when I felt like when I had that wish list, when we did it, it became this like goal. Like, I need to get it. I must get my my LV Elma BB bag. But actually, do I really need it? Like, or was it something that just made me put it on a wish list board? And now that there's price increases, I'm excited, I'm scared, I'm chasing it. So in a little bit of like an experiment to see, like, what if we just went along our merry way of the year, and where there's a fashion show coming up, you see what you like, and you go like, actually, I quite like that. And that wasn't on a wish list. It was something that you actually enjoy, like, and if you feel like it suits your lifestyle, or for me, it suits my lifestyle, and I have space, and it fits into my entire collection, usable, why don't I just get it? I don't have to feel like I'm chasing that goal, right? Of course, I have an ultimate goal, which is my Birkin, but that I can't put that as a wish list item, because that's not even something that you can wish. Well, you can wish for, but it's difficult. But the rest, I feel like having that wish list was something that came about with social media and setting goals. But these kind of goals over the years have become a little crazy with the price increases, with everything, and just excessively sitting heavy on my shoulders. So just an experiment for 2021 to see whether it might work. And yeah, let's see lah.
Yeah. I think for me, in addition to not buying anything that I don't immediately need or that I don't immediately want to use, what I'll also do is I'll stick to my favorite fashion house, to be honest, because I kind of, going back to the Spring Street, for example, I kind of justify myself that it's leather, it's this and that, it's really good price. But at the end of the day, if it's the same category of bags, especially because I love my LVs, but I love my LV canvas, because when I use my LV bags, I'm very carefree. Like, I can go grocery shopping with it. I can go play with my nephew with it. Like, I don't mind wearing that and just not have a care. But when it comes to leather bags, I'm a little bit more careful, and I don't even gravitate towards leather LV bags. So I think going forward, I'm just going to avoid leather bags from LV, because I know I favor my Chanel. So why even look elsewhere? That's how I'm going to go about it as well. Like, because I just know I'm brand loyal. I can buy anything from Chanel and almost be like 95% right about it. That's how I feel about it. You know what I mean? I mean, the occasional 5%, like, and then the last thing that I want to do also, while you were saying, it kind of popped up in my mind, because I was always I love traveling, and I always feel like when I'm traveling, I feel so content, because when I travel, I pack my favorite things, my favorite outfit, my favorite shoes, my favorite jewelry, my favorite bag. And you're using those things for that span of 1 week, 2 week travel, whatever. But you're so self-sufficient. Like, you're so, like, everything matches together because it's literally all your favorite things. So I want to achieve something like that for my wardrobe. And it's hard for a fashionista to do that, because you always want to think like, oh, maybe I need this when I style it that way, or blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, I think we can work with such a, I guess you can call it capsule wardrobe, but the ideal is there. I know I will never achieve that because at the end of the day, I'm still a shopaholic in a way, and always looking at fashion shows, and always wanting the next thing that I had in my wish list, like imaginary wish list. But in terms of like ready to wear and those things like that, I really should try to think about, when I travel, would I bring this with me? Almost. Would I be packing this? Then I can make my decision whether I want to add it or not. I
That's a
almost feel
good
like
one.
this would be a good sort of, starting point for me.
That's a good one, actually. That's really good. Like it's in a way like taking a step back before buying it, and all the excitement of but it could be anything, right? It could be new collections, or it could be price increases, or it could be discontinued items. It could be anything, but if it doesn't fit into your capsule collection, the things of my favorite things, then the answer is no, right? So, you know what? I just something that came out of my mind. This feels like a luxury shopaholic anonymous counseling
Yes.
session where for the next 306 no 58 days, we'll have to check ourselves, and we may fall off the bandwagon.
Oh, we
But it will.
will. I'm almost certain. But it's fun to see, how everyone has been doing. And I think it's still fun to even reflect back, because even you can only improve bit by bit. Even if you improve by 1%, it's still better than not improving. I think.
It's true. It's true. So for me, like my two, I think if I were to just summarize my goal, I think for me, one for sure is I don't want to buy anything for collector's piece. So a lot of people have been texting me about the Doraemon Gucci collection. I am dying, okay, people. I am dying. Let me just tell you that if I can see it in person and know that I will actually use it, like I will love it, I would consider buying it. But if my mind says, oh, I just want to buy it to collect, I'm gonna I'm gonna run from the Gucci shop, okay? So yeah, things like that. I just feel I don't want to buy collector's items, things anymore. And then one more thing is I'm gonna try this experiment where not gonna just be so focused on I want it as a wish list item. So I don't know how would that pan out, because wish list means you're just aiming for something, but at the same time, I haven't figured the dynamics of this experiment, but I just want to feel like maybe don't have a wish list this year and just see how the whole year works out.
Good luck.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so why don't we how about you? Why don't you summarize what are you like two or maybe two or three things that you really want to try out?
Oh, you mean my end goal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe like
Okay, so I'll repeat it. So for me, number one is if I'm contemplating an item, and if I don't think that I'll be using it like next week after buying it, then just wait. Don't buy yet. So that's number one. Number two is, what did I say?
capsule
Sorry.
capsule collection.
Yeah. Well, not quite a capsule collection, but just the idea of just whenever I remember traveling, I'm always just content with that one big suitcase. So the idea is to sort of almost live by that rule in a way. Like whatever I'm going to add to my collection, it better not be another duplicate of something else I already have. Because if I already have something like that and it's already part of my favorite, I don't really need another version of that, right? So yeah. And then third is I know myself, I'm so brand loyal. I probably should not just, go, probably should not like try to explore Prada or explore Loewe and like do those things, because I know in the end I'm still gonna be like, I'll have all these things in my collection, but when it comes to me grabbing a bag to use for that occasion, I will put it back and I'll take a Chanel. Like, I know me. I kept doing that. Yeah, so I'll just stick to my Chanel, and I'll try. maybe I won't have a wish list like you. Like that's not really a fourth thing, but I won't. But I think one of my sort of goal, like maybe, is just to visualize that Birkin. And whenever that happens, it happens. Obviously, like we said, 2021, it's still not over. The pandemic is still here, so we shall see how that pans out. But if I can visualize it, and if every action that I do from now on, I have to keep thinking, okay, am I going to spend that money now on this thing, or am I going to just save it and, towards that one big goal in the future, whenever that happens? So, yeah.
Good one. Okay, thank you, Amy. That was awesome. I hope you guys enjoyed that, a little bit of a sharing of how we handled 2020 and how we think we're going to handle 2021. So, yeah, we're going to open the chat. I will go through and pull out your questions and maybe some of your comments as well. And let me just change the screen. But, just before I do that, I'm going to ask you, Amy. So now with this mindset of yours and, something that you are saying that, you made some mistakes previously. Well, maybe not mistakes. Like, for example, your Spring Street. Are you
Mhm.
gonna do a little bit of reflection on your collection? Like I did it. I did a bit of a purge, and it was a test for me because I purged very treasured items, and I feel good about it. What about you? Are you gonna try
Well,
and
it's good that you bring this up because remember I was thinking that this could be our topic next week. Like I said, I'm still conflicted because I'm a little bit of a hoarder, and I also think about, is it a great time to purge like you did? Because if I haven't really given that item a fair chance, should I purge it? Now, that's one way of looking at it, but the other way of looking at it is also do it, make yourself happy, make yourself feel content about it, and also the opportunity cost of letting those things go. You're basically setting yourself up for your big goal, whatever that is. It could be traveling. It doesn't have to be buying a Birkin, right? It could be buying big travel when we are able to travel. So I'm very conflicted. I'm gonna be honest. Like I don't know what to do because
yeah.
part of me wants to let go of some things and do that, experimental purge that you did as well. By the way, very, very brave. Letting go of multicolor pieces
Yeah,
and
yeah.
oh my
Very hard.
gosh, like all
But
those beautiful, beautiful pieces.
I know, and your collection is like, I think if you were to share the things that you may wanna, consider or you considering, I think it would be like it will fly off the shelves because your
I
stuff
don't
is
know.
amazing.
Maybe.
But people, we are gonna talk about this. So, because I think since we're talking about the mindset thing, so next week on Amy's channel, make sure you join us. We are going to deep dive one more level into what I did. And then after that, Amy will share. Maybe after 1 week, she's got more thoughts, and we'll do a
Maybe.
video. Yeah,
Maybe I'll line up the things that I'm conflicted about, but I
that would
won't
be
make a
good.
decision yet. I might do some show and tell. Maybe we can do
That
that.
sounds fun. That sounds fun. I think I
Yeah.
would like to see what you're. I would like to see what you're purging.
Oh my gosh, I'm not looking forward to it. But anyway, it's something that needs to be done eventually anyway. And while we're in this topic, why not just continue it?
Yeah, totally. Okay, I'm gonna. Ooh,
Yeah,
one
there is a
second.
lot of comment, but I love reading everyone's what they've been through, and I'm just glad that we're not the people alone who feels crazy in 2020. I mean,
I
even the
know.
last few days while we were off, I just felt like there were days where I was cheering myself up and trying to stay positive, but it's just hard.
Hi,
You're on
Clara.
holiday, but you can't see your family.
Yeah,
You can't go out. Like, I mean, you can, but you shouldn't.
shouldn't. I
um,
shouldn't.
it's like, oh, so annoying.
Yes, Clara's here. Make sure you guys follow Clara as well. And if you enjoy this live, it's back. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up if you
Yeah, it's back for good. Well,
back for
until
good.
our next break, which is going to be next Christmas, maybe, or whenever.
Wow.
I don't know. Whenever we have something going on, right? Because usually Christmas also means more, like more for me, especially more downtime. Because like family members have like parties here, parties there. Even though this year we didn't have any parties in person, but there was still Zoom meetings and just things that you have to be like free to be
And
able
K
to.
drama.
Yeah.
And K
Yeah.
drama. Okay, Maria is saying that 2020 was also a year that collectors sold a lot of amazing bags on the pre-love market. Yeah,
Mm,
it's true. I think I think when I did my purge video, I was surprised to read the comments that actually a lot of people did a lot of purging. I would I thought that a year of like a pandemic year, a lot of people wouldn't be wanting to sell their things. That I think maybe just theoretically
that's me.
prices. Yeah.
Me, because I was basically like, I'm like, no one's gonna buy it anyway. And plus, yeah, like I said earlier, I just was so conflicted whether I should just give it a try anyway and decide later. So I just couldn't make a decision, so I didn't do anything about it.
Hmm.
No, actually, I did sell a few things, but it was not my Chanel. Like, I did not touch my Chanel. I did not want to touch my Chanel collection.
Next week, Amy, I'm selling this. I'm like, everybody will be like,
Oh, that's so scary. Anyway, well, we'll see.
my luxury is to see. Okay, you're not alone with emotional shopping. I think this is to my comment. I had a newborn in 2020. We're all locked down in Singapore, and yeah, it's this whole managing of things. It's I, you know, I always know mental health is very important, but I feel like in 2020, you really like when because I teach my gym classes, and some of the things that I say during the class is that um I get a lot of nods when I say that last year was very mentally challenging, and you get this bunch of like members, and they're like, it it strikes everybody so differently. And okay, for me, I just did emotional shopping, but I think a lot of people like UK drama and all that. It something that you just didn't realize until it hits you. You go like, dang, this is hard. This is hard.
And when someone else feels the same way, you just really relate, right? So you all kind of at that moment connected right away. So for sure, yeah.
Okay, this friend. I had a friend who keeps buying cleaning supplies. She is in a bad place, and it makes her feel better. Her store is full of cleaning supplies. A little even tells us to stop.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I mean, we
we're
handle
always buying cleaning supplies too. Well, because we go through it so fast. And my
really.
husband is a germaphobe, so you can't
Okay.
get away from that.
Okay, Jeanette. Every time I'm tempted to scroll on my handphone or iPad to shop, I'll tell myself to snap out of it and distract myself from doing it. You can try.
Good for you.
Yeah, good
Wow.
for you.
I don't have self-control, not like that. I mean, I do. I think I did already. Otherwise, it would be even more worse.
Yeah. I think a lot of us, it's like, you're scrolling, you're like, you have to, and that, that action of saying, oh my gosh, stop it, stop it. That is actually very mentally draining. You don't realize it because you're actually trying to relax, do something that, whether it's scroll Instagram, see something nice, watch somebody's unboxings. But because there's that temptation, and then you're constantly having to tell yourself, okay, don't, check out. That is actually very, you don't realize it, but it's actually very mentally draining. You just feel this sudden surge of guilt, all kinds of negative feelings, and it's not a nice feeling. And I feel really down after that, like,
Yeah, your
oh
mind is up and down, and it's just all over the place. Yeah.
so there. I mean, the only way to stop it is don't shop, but I think everybody has a way to fix it. I feel like I am going through that, look at something on Sephora, click it into my cart, and oh no, check it out. But then it's always playing on my mind. So maybe something to try out. Don't even open the Sephora app 2020. I don't know. I don't want to say anything right now.
I think that would be the way to go, because to not shop, because I do that, like, I want to say that I did okay this year in the high street department. Like, I didn't shop as much high street. I did one big Zara haul. Um but that's the thing with me. Like, I try to not shop. Like, I try to resist as much. Like, self-control, like you said, is very, very hard. And I do that for a while, and I'm very proud of myself. But then after a while, you just want to do it. And then when you do it, it's like kaboom, you buy like
Yeah,
everything, right? So
that's revenge shopping, right? You just
I
fall
guess so,
off the
yeah.
ledge like, oh, I've had enough of this self control. Had it. Oh, okay. So Connie, yes, I am actually wearing a Lily silk top. Isn't that pretty? Oh my gosh,
It's
I am
very pretty.
obsessed. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. But controlling, okay, because it's annoying to buy and not use. So I don't buy. For me, I don't buy a lot of clothes. Like I live out of my gym wear a lot. So maybe that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Great
Otherwise,
thing.
otherwise I'll be buying even more clothes. But I did buy a few pieces. I bought 3 of the same, and I do like it, enjoy it. So yes, you're right. My new interest, not lily silk, but silk, right? Silk. And so happen lily silk is accessible.
But silk is so good for where you live,
Oh yeah,
because
yeah.
it's not hot like when you wear it, but it also keeps you warm when it's like air conditioned. So it's actually the perfect material. I love all the silk that I have, but it's just in the winter it's a little cold, so I do have to layer if I do wear silk. But yeah, silk is just all year round. Really, really good, especially for the climate that where you live in.
Totally. I was watching divert the topic a little bit. I was watching Karis, LV Lover CC. She was showing off, I think, one of her silk pieces. I'm not sure if it was lily silk or not, but she did this hack. And I don't know if you know it, that if you spray your silk, if you spray your silk with water, it would like the creases will go away. Did you know that? You don't have to steam it.
Well, I don't spray, but I one hack that I have, especially when I travel with silk, is that you take your shower and then you hang your item in the washroom where you took like near the shower. Then overnight it will just soften it, so you don't have to really iron it unless it's a very ingrained. But I guess it's the same idea. It's just
Same
moisture, right?
idea. Moisture,
That way
yeah.
it will flatten out over. Like, you just let gravity do its thing, and it will flatten out.
Exactly. It's exactly that. So her hack was she took one of those like this like facial
Spray
mist
bottle, yeah.
sprays, yeah, spray bottle with a very fine mist. And let me just grab my top.
Did you try it? Because I only did the steam version.
I did it. No, I did it. So okay, look at this top, right? It is so creased.
Yeah.
So I just took a spray bottle and with like mist and I sprayed it like really close by. So it's lightly moist. And it's got a bit of water on it. And I left it for a few hours, and I didn't steam this. It's creaseless. I was like, that's it. I love silk even more.
It's actually really easy to take care of. I even wash it in the washing machine, except that you have to use the most delicate cycle, and use a wash bag to protect it. But it's so easy. Yeah, it's great.
Great. Yeah. So anyway, that was sorry, side topic. But I thought it was such amazing. Like I would always think that, it's so difficult to take care of these kind of materials because I need to steam it. So it stops me from buying. But now I'm like, water.
I'll try that next time. I never tried just water. I always use steam because I have a steamer anyway. Yeah.
Mm. Okay, Kat. For Maria, how do you feel about pre-loved, ready to wear? There's so much on Vestiaire and in the US, TRR, the real. Um, I think I'm okay with the fact that's pre-loved. Yeah, I think so. I think I am. The only thing is, I prefer to try clothes. So especially when it's so expensive, I I'm not I'm not good at checking my own sizes and the fit and how it looks like. So I actually prefer to be able to try it on, get the fit and all of that. And especially when it's luxury, that makes me even more like, nah, I don't want to deal with the whole return, etc. So yeah, pre-love. I don't know whether how the return is going to be like as well. I think that's even harder.
I think I can, well, if I can offer my feedback, for me, same. Like, I like to try my clothes on because, like, female body, everyone's so different. But even if you know the garment, if it's pre-loved, sometimes it's a little tricky because I'm very sensitive to scents. If it smells a bit of perfume or cigarette smells, I just, it really puts me off. And sometimes I even get headaches. So that that can be a deterrence for me. And the other thing is, the duties and taxes. So in
Mm.
Canada, I mean, I think I say that every now and then, but in Canada, it's, you can't even get your taxes and duties back unless you apply for it. But if even if you applied, if you try to get it back, it's only a maybe. And when it
Oh.
comes to ready to wear, usually they're pretty expensive. So on in a way, because I'm not familiar with shopping on Vestia yet, and the Real either. I mean, either of them anyway, you have to pay duties and taxes, which is fine with paying if I already know that if it's me. And but that's the thing. That's why I love doing retail online shopping, because at the end of the day, you can still try it out, and then if it still doesn't work, then the return is usually relatively easy. And they have all the infrastructures and all the refunds, and everything works out even with
Mm.
the taxes and stuff like that, which is why I haven't dipped my toes into pre-love ready to wear. I think I would be more comfortable if I were to like shop locally and find
Mm.
pre-love pieces like that.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah.
I agree. I think so. It's like you can see it, you can go to
Mm.
the shop, you can feel it, smell it, touch it. So yeah, I think if it were in a shop that I can see, I would be more comfortable to try it out. Yeah. Okay, I got another one from, this is for, I think, a comment for Amy. Totally agree with what you're saying, Amy. Unless it's a wish list item or for work, I just bought an Antigona for a work bag and I'm still working. So I think this is
Mm.
when you were saying you don't use it, right?
Yeah, so it's like literally you buy it, you're using it right away. That's like the best way. And the I felt like every time I did that with anything, I felt the most content with the purchase, whether it was expensive or not, or whatever it was. Um, it just feels good when you're using it right away, because that guilt factor is totally non-existent when that happens.
Diminishing. It's diminishing. Like you're justified. Oh, okay.
I think that's why I was, even though the Mitzi Pochette was influenced, um, I felt okay with it because I literally used it so much and I used it right away. Uh, I know you just sold your horse, but you had your reasons, and that's the thing. Regardless of what other people did, because sometimes I see, like, sometimes I watched, like, let's say Jerusha, and Jerusha is a she influences a lot of people with their purchases, but then if she says that it's a bad purchase in the end, people will get really upset, and it's understandable. But at the end of the day, uh, we all make our own decisions. And at the end of the day, if you really did buy it because you knew yourself that it could be influenced, but as long as you're using it and as long as
Yes.
you feel great about it, then it doesn't matter what happens to other people. If whether they liked it in the end or not, it doesn't matter, right? So
True.
that's what I'm striving. I think I'm going to strive to do in 2021. Really, really dig deep.
Dig deep. Yeah, so if y'all don't know, I sold my multi pre and it it hit me very similar concept with the. But I'll share about it. No, you know what? I'm gonna save this story for next week's video.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll save it for
Sounds
next week. So
good.
you just gotta come back next week.
Yeah.
So yeah. But I'll talk. I mean, I'll talk more in depth, and you can ask questions, right? So of what was going through my brain in a purge in this really,
It'll
I
be
would say,
really interesting for people to like pick your brain and what went
yeah,
through your head, and maybe
yeah.
pick my brain as to why I can't let go. Like I want to, but I don't want to. This is what
Oh,
I'm
letting
like
go is
struggling
so
with.
hard. Oh, letting go. It's actually, I think if letting go was easier, it would have been easier. But letting go was also difficult because of the process of letting go.
Yes.
That also becomes a deterrent. Like, yeah, forget it.
That's a huge deterrent for me, actually.
Mm.
The fact that, postal services is slow and yeah, just a lot of things to like take care of and just, yeah.
Oh, this is a good one from Kimberly. I have a suspension period for larger items on my wish list. I have to want them for six
Mm,
months before I splurge. Kimberly, I had this like wait few months before buying, but my challenge for this, I had this, and I think it's really good. Actually, it really works. I did it for a few items, and after I hit that benchmark, the timeline, and then I decide to buy it, I feel like yes, tap on the shoulder, cat. You waited long enough, and therefore you actually still want it. But last year, I felt like the suspension period for me and also self control was tested by all the price increases. The
yes.
constant the constant fear of losing out, not missing out, losing out because it's like, oh my god, 20% more. Wow. Forget the suspension period. We're just gonna get it.
Yeah, and I also feel that the trend of price increases are going to be similar this year because I don't think they'll do like 2, 3% price increases. It'll be like 10, 15, maybe 20. I feel like it's still going to be like this for a little bit because they're trying to catch up too, right?
It's
Their
crazy.
business, they want to make money.
Like I just feel like last year, 2020, it's either that I was more aware of it. That could be one way, one reason why I feel it was so heavy, like 4 times in a year. Is it because you're more aware? And have they been doing 3, 4 times in 20% the years before? I actually don't know. Do you know?
It's a good point because I almost felt like in I want to say like 2015, 16, there were almost no price increases at LV. Like there might have been one. And then all of a sudden 2017 there was like a couple per year until now, and then now it just feels like it's every few months. Like it's more than a couple per year, I feel like. Cuz sometimes they just do like little adjustments, but to us it's a price increase, right? Even if it's a little adjustment, and then they do another adjustment, but that one is like the bigger one. So all these added up together, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not sure whether it's that knowledge has caused us to panic. Like too much information is actually no good. I'm just wondering, like, but for Cartier, like when they had this price increase, they haven't actually had many price increases before. So that was something that maybe a lot of people really try to run and get the Cartier pieces this year. But with the LV and Chanel and all, I just feel like last year was a little bit excessive. But the excessiveness, I'm not sure was because we are now more aware about it. Like it could have been something that they do 4 or 5 times a year anyway. But we hear it now. We hear it, and therefore we have this panic attack. If anybody knows, please share. Like, did they do 4 or 5 price increases in 2019 as well that we actually didn't pay attention to? because we were not looking out to their stuff. I swear I don't know.
I think
But if
there's
anyone
usually two that I'm aware of,
knows,
like October, November, and then May, June. I want to say, I don't know.
no idea. But yeah. So anyway, they just did one again in January. It's like, dudes, chill. Okay, Amanda, I'm looking for a small grab and go bag, which I can use for going out to the Woolies, NTUC, stroll by the beach. Any suggestions on a really casual outfit? T-shirt, shorts, and flip flops. Um, there are lots of casual bags, depending on your, I guess, your budget, right? Your budget. There's casual ones in Chanel as well. I'm actually using. Let me go and grab mine. You can. What do you
Is it
answer
your
this?
Longchamp?
Yeah, let me grab it.
Yeah, that's a good one. Well, that's why I like using my mid spreadsheet for that. But if that's not your jam, yeah, for my LV collection, I really just use my Never Full because I don't have to think about it. I just throw whatever is in it. I don't organize it. Or nowadays I've been just taking three things: my keys, and a sanitizer and a phone. That's it. Like two set of keys and like that's why the Mitzi pochette is working really good for me. But yeah.
Mine's my little Longchamp.
Wait, did you get another
I
color?
sorry, no,
Did you get another color?
it's pink. It's the same one, pink. I got this one.
Oh, okay. It doesn't look pink in here.
It's a really pale pink,
Mm.
and I got this because I knew I enjoyed the multi pochette, right? But I only wanted that one pouch, so that's something sort of like initiated this. But what I like about this little guy, and I don't know if this is useful for a lot of people, but it's useful for me because I take the bus and I take the train, and the back compartment I put everything inside because it's soft. I just throw everything inside. A little hard to find. That's a little thing because it's so soft. But what really made this good is this little pocket here. There's a little card like slot for me to put my bus card or my train card. So I slot it in and I can go on and off the bus because sometimes I'll take a train and then I'll transit to a bus and I don't want to be like searching for the thing at the back. So this was like a huge plus point for me. Like, this little pocket. That's all I needed, actually. That's why I said, always have a pocket outside. That's all I needed. So some people will say, I don't have any utility for that, and therefore it won't be useful. But if you are always on public transport and you need a card, this is amazing.
Yeah, I think every time I travel, I always use public transport, or the hotel key also is a card like that. So I always appreciate having a little pocket like that too. They're always handy. I don't think anybody would think that that's not handy. It's like so good. I think every handbag should have those too. Yeah.
Okay, here's one from Jamel. FOMO dilemma.
Aw.
2 items left on my Chanel wish list: a red mini rectangular and a classic flap. I don't need them, but given the price increases, I'm still thinking about buying them now. Crazy vicious cycle.
Yes.
No.
I feel your pain.
We feel your pain. Like we totally yeah, can sympathize.
However, those two items that you mentioned, they sound very like staple, like red mini, classic flap. They're such staples that okay, I know I'm justifying like this is what I do, but because they're such a staple, I don't know your collection, but it feels like to me it would be like a staple in my collection if I had those two things in my wish list. So I would feel okay getting it even before the price increase and just chasing it before, even though I don't have a use right now. So yes, I am justifying it, but yeah, that I'm gonna leave it at that. But because it's not like a it's not like a tweed something. It's not like a gold color, like something that you don't really wear. I feel like red is a staple and classic flap is a staple, so that's why I feel okay about it. But then you have to look at your collection and decide for yourself. But
Totally,
man,
totally.
the struggle is real.
Struggle is real. Okay, I'm back happy. My luxury mindset for 2021. Use everything I bought in 2020. Yes. Yes. That one definitely. My gosh. Also focus on making content that will feature everything I currently own without feeling the pressure to buy something new. That's a good actually
Mhm.
that's a good point. As a content creator, there's always that pressure and gap feeling to haul something for content. Uh,
Well,
that
I know what you mean, but I want to say that I only show after I decide to buy something. But I think for me the it's not even the content part, it's just yeah, it's again the guilt part of not using something. And uh, I explained it in a video that I'm going to be sharing on Monday, like my least use and worst purchases. It it's the guilt part, and it's also I know that I can use them. Like I can just like cuz right now when I go out it's for essential errands. So getting grocery, picking up uh something or going to an appointment or whatever. But I don't need a nice bag for those kind of errands. That's where I'm kind of conflict. I don't want to just use it just for that. You know what I mean?
mm,
So yeah. There's just no occasion. So I know what you mean by use everything you buy in 2020. I wish that I can make myself do that. Uh, and I don't really count going to my, family's house as using, because that's really just, bringing it from your car, from your house to your car, and then to your parents' house, and then leaving it in a corner. Like you're not really using it. You know what I mean? Because I'm not really gonna bring it with me and then go chat with them. Like how? Yeah, it's just I don't even take my phone with me when I'm with other people. Like I just find it rude when people constantly check their phone. Like I literally leave it in my handbag and it stays in the bedroom.
mm,
So I'm not really actually using it, but I did take it out. I did fiddle with how to fit things inside, I guess, but that's still not really using it, in my opinion.
yeah. Totally understand that dilemma where you feel like I'll use it, but you're not really using it. It's like an accessory.
To me, using a bag to really get to know your bag, you really have to um, use it for almost like a week straight. And my best way of knowing a bag is traveling with it.
That's true.
Um, yeah, it really is. And having said that, I'm probably not going to be as brave to travel with lambskin bag yet. Like I'll still use it when I'm able to actually really use it, but I don't think I'll be traveling with my trendy CC anytime soon, or not even my Lady Dior. I don't think I need to, because when you're traveling, do you really need a fancy bag like that? Unless you're going for a wedding, for example, then yeah, I'll bring it. But when I'm traveling, I want to be carefree too. So
You need bags like this for
yes,
traveling.
this is a great travel bag.
Okay, so I think believe is sort of like it's sort of me trying to talk through my thoughts on this wish list thing. So, which I said, I haven't really dived deep into this experiment. But what you're saying is a wish list can be more for checking in a list to edit and adjust. We can have a wish list for the gaps in our wardrobe and changes in the pandemic. So we look for pieces. That's the pro I see with having a wish list. But if I don't think of it that way, I ask myself, do I need a wish list? Like it's that gray area of why do I have a wish list when I have everything? Whoa. It's that mindset of like, why am I always wishing for more and other things when actually I have so much of everything that I haven't even fully enjoyed? So before I start wishing for more, maybe I should start looking at what I have. And therefore, I shouldn't have a wish list. But I do see the benefit of having a wish list, so I don't go astray.
I
So
think for me, it's circumstantial. I feel like wish lists are still useful, but not in 2020 and not in 2021, probably.
yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think you're right, Amy. It's like it's just the timing of this wish list. It's it feels a little like irrelevant.
It is, because what can you possibly need when you're in lockdown? Nothing. You don't need anything. Like, if you really want to look at it from a very rudimentary point of view, like, you
True.
need food, you need shelter, you need work. That's it. Like, what do you need? You don't need anything. So whatever you already have is enough. So that's why the wish list, I feel like, when we're reflecting back and also going forward for a little bit, like, because I mean, we have the vaccine, but still not, we're not quite there yet. So I foresee that 2021, a wish list is probably irrelevant at this point. It will be relevant again, but just not for now.
Correct. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just like a little experiment to see. Maybe, it could go both ways, right? It could go like, now that I don't have a wish list, I go way. I go into the ocean and I'm like, yahoo. Or maybe I might end up saying, actually, I didn't get much because I don't have anything that I'm aiming for. And I'm actually now reflecting on everything that I'm hoping for for, for the letter. I'm just thinking like, maybe that might happen, that I'm actually going, yeah, why don't I use this shoe instead? I don't really need the next shoe. Do I really need my Elma BB? Like, am I wishing for it just because I want it in my collection? Am I going to use it now? So I guess I'm trying to not put a board at the moment and just see how it takes me through it. Yeah, but of course, maybe in 2021, I'm like, okay, you know what? Girls got to be focused. Let's get a few things on that board.
Yeah, it's okay to have like because like you said, a Birkin is not even a wish list. I mean, it's something that you may get or you may not get, right? So that's okay to have that goal in general, but I do agree that the smaller items or the other all the other things as part of a wish list is less relevant this year. And since we didn't know, like back in 2020 when things exploded, we didn't know how long it was going to last. And but now that we're it's over, well, now that the year is over and we can sort of maybe foresee that it's not going to be over anytime soon, then now we can readjust.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. We adjust. It's all about being flexible. Like, we have been adjusting a lot in 20. Like, one thing it's like this, and next thing is 180 degrees different. So yeah, we just got to be flexible. So anyway, it's still in week 1.5 of 2021.
Yeah, it's way too early to really know anything, but from what I can see, it's nothing is slowing down yet. So
This is a good one, Holly. I would rather buy an item when I'm ready or 150% sure, price increase or not, than buy something to avoid the price increase and then regret the purchase later. The price increase with confidence is worth it. It's true.
very much so. And kudos for being able to do that.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay, this is one for you. For you, luxury mindset for 2020. Capsule wardrobe boot camp. If one is ready.
I'm gonna strive for it. Yeah, it's never gonna be a real capsule, because I think a real capsule is like what, 30 garments, including. But I guess it's up to you, really. Yeah. So
That's hard
for sure,
though.
this year, if I were to even like just think out loud, don't need any more clothes because I'm not even going out. So whatever I bought last year, let's just, forget about it. It's okay. It's already done. Just be content with that. But going forward, maybe this year I just don't need anything, because I'll just rewear anything in my own wardrobe. And next week we'll do the whole like not decluttering, but the whole like purging mindset. We'll talk about the mindset, not quite the purging part yet, but we'll talk about it. We'll talk about the whole thing, get stuff rolling in our heads, and yeah, it'll be a good start to sort of, because sometimes you just have like this light bulb like pop up, and you suddenly see what you should do. But right now I don't know. I'm just all over the place.
Yeah. I think one thing is for sure, if anybody is wondering, like for me, I'm not gonna speak for for Amy, but for me, 100%, I am nowhere near a minimalist.
Oh no, myself neither. Oh my
So
gosh.
even though we're talking about, the mindset of like that, it's still really far away from saying I'm never shopping again. It's still far away from that. But it's just that maybe we're trying to be more targeted, mindful of it, but it doesn't mean that we're not shopping. So just to maybe it's like, what are we gonna watch for the next 20, in 2021? Are you gonna buy anything? Yeah.
I think it's also because our weakness is for luxury bags, and for me, I also love luxury clothes, and for Kat, she also love her fine jewelry now. So this is our weakness. Kat also loves her makeup. So when it comes to your weakness, it's harder to sometimes make the best judgments, and that's why you end up making some decisions that you might kind of question later. But if I can do the same thing that I do with my for example, skincare and makeup, I am very minimalist when it comes to that.
Yeah.
I don't buy until I finish, or I'm almost finished. I buy the new bottle. I don't know why I'm so good with that. Maybe because I'm not as it's not that I'm not passionate about my skincare or anything, but it just, I am so good at that. So why can't I apply that to my luxury journey? It's because we're obsessed. So it's a little harder, but we're going to try. I'm going to try to think about, because I only use whatever makeup I have until it's completely over, completely finished. I hit pan before I buy a new one.
Amazing.
I literally do. I think there was maybe a period where I bought, a couple of eyeshadow palettes, and I was experimenting during that time with makeup more. So I did buy more, but I realized afterwards that I don't even like wearing eye makeup, because I find the cleaning part really, really, like, I'm so lazy at it. I don't like cleaning powder off of my eyes, because there's always going to be a little bit left. And I also feel like, for myself anyway, when I rub my eye area too much, I get those wrinkles that I don't want to get. Like, it just keeps getting more wrinkly. So it's better if I don't touch it, which is why I don't wear eye makeup. I do love my magnetic lashes, and that does the trick for me already. So I kind of found my routine that works for me, and I just stick to it. So I will try to apply that to my luxury journey, but I know it'll be hard.
Yeah.
Because those are our weaknesses and our interests.
That's why I said this is like luxury counseling. And when you brought up a really good point, for you is your makeup and your skincare, right? You finish it all the way, and that's something I'm trying to do as well. Like, I have finally dug into some of these collectors eyeshadow palettes. I'm like, God, the embossing. I'm like, oh my God, all right, fine, let's use it.
Eyeshadows are hard to finish.
Oh, they're terrible. They're terrible. But
you can never finish eyeshadow.
They're so pretty. Okay, but anyway, one of the things that I'm really good at, and like you said, it's not that you're not passionate, is that my gym clothes. I am so passionate about my gym, my teaching on my classes, And you would think I have tons of gym wear. No, I have minimal. Like in 1 week I get through like all my gym clothes. If I don't wash my like all my gym clothes within like 3 days, I don't have any more to wear. And I have one pair of shoes that I wear for all my classes, and I wear it down. Like I wear it down until I said, "Oh my god, I need to buy a new pair of shoes." Like I'm so strict and stingy on something that I'm so passionate about.
So what's the difference? Why
I
can we do so well in one area and be completely off in another one? Why? It begs the question.
I know. It's just it's something that you might have to dig deep, but I have no idea. Like there are, like you said, your skincare, you go down. I'm like, how do you do that? But for me, when it comes to my gym, maybe if I talk to your husband who loves shoes, right? He'd be like, oh, "You
Oh
wore
my
your shoes
gosh.
down?" I'm like, "Yeah, there's rubber at the bottom."
Oh, him and his shoes. But it's okay. Like he has his own thing. I have my own. So
Oh, so it's
I don't
interesting.
try to control anyone as long as you don't try to control me.
Oh. So anyway, yeah. So just coming back to that point, because it's just interesting to see how we will adjust as we go along the way, but hopefully we'll end up with something positive. So, and believe, how many bags do you think one woman can own and realistically use all of them? I'm at a place where I feel my collection is curated and I love them, but the pandemic made me ponder this.
Mm.
That's a good point.
I don't know if it's really the amount of bags because I for a long time I think my bag collection was around 10. And every time I would say I'm content, but I think as years go by and as new styles and trends come about, you have a new sort of preference. Something becomes your new preference.
Mm,
So I think back in 2015, the larger totes are still really very much like the everyday bag that was in trend, and those were the type of bags that I kind of bought more of. But as the trend became more about the minis and about downsizing and the phone size changing and just even keys are changing, so I think it's also the evolution of the trends and of everything lifestyle wise. So at the end of the day, I don't know if it's really about the number of bags, but which bags you have in your collection that
mm.
makes it enough for you.
Well said. Well said. I think that's exactly what has happened for a lot of our collections. Like I used to carry gigantic bags and there was never enough. Not big enough. I didn't have enough space. But now it's too much space.
Hmm.
And it's, yeah, lifestyle and everything. So yeah, well said. I totally agree. It's not the number. We could be very strict with the number and say, I only have one bag and this and that. You could be, but you could have many, but everything serves a purpose as well and just suits your current life. I think is also okay.
Hmm. Yeah. And some people will feel overwhelmed at 10 bags, and some people will feel like 30 bags is not enough. So I think you strike your own balance, I suppose, and for whatever you need for.
Mm,
Um, yeah, you're the better judge of your own collection, for sure.
for sure. Erica, not a question, but Santa was good to me this year. Yay. Bought my first Chanel classic flap in a beautiful navy color with ruthenium hardware and a Cartier ring, heavily influenced by me.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Oh man, I feel guilty. But no, you love it. Like I love my little Cartier earring and ring. Slippery slope, girl. Okay, I want to keep what I use what I use now. There's no point for me to keep what I don't use, but I still struggle with storage and make everything mold free. Oh my god, TT, I think you're in Singapore with me. Yes. That is definitely a huge issue. Keeping bags in pristine condition in our weather is just a nightmare.
That would have been a deterrent for me, I think, to add
Mm.
more things in my wardrobe. I don't have that problem, so I almost feel like if I had that problem, I would have better self-control.
I don't think it'll work. You'll find a way. You'll find a way to fix
No,
the
I
problem.
don't want that problem though.
Okay, Jennifer, how often do you scroll your favorite websites or fashion file daily?
Ooh.
What's a good way to limit scrolling? Hmm. Okay, I'll start. I got a few tips. A few, just one, maybe two tips. All right. I scroll my favorite websites, I would say daily, right? I'll take a look. But yeah, okay, maybe daily is too much. Maybe every 2 to 3 days, I'll just for out of boredom, I'll go and click maybe the Chanel website, take a look. Nothing much. LV has more updates. I'll take a look. I would say maybe in a week, a couple of times. Yeah, I think a couple of times. Unless I'm extremely bored and nothing else better to do. But what's a good way to limit scrolling? One thing I notice for me that that scrolling of LV websites is just because I'm killing time. Um, but there are some websites that I scroll out of because I know there's something new. Is because I get a lot of email notifications. Like in the past few months, my mailbox has been flooded with all kinds of Black Friday promotions, and I don't know what what did I do to get so many. I think maybe when I sign up for something and then I just get so many, and they sometimes send you 2 to 3 emails a day, like crazy. So one of the things that I constantly have to do is to unsubscribe from these kind of websites, which stops me from knowing and therefore stop me from scrolling, like going into the websites. That's one. My second tip, which I'm trying to implement, is to not play with my phone at night.
Mm, that's a good one.
That is the because at night is where I wind down, I lie down a bit, I look at YouTube, and then with YouTube, and then from there I start to scroll, and then it just goes on and on. So trying to limit that right now, like I will maybe watch 1 or 2 videos, and I'll quickly like throw the phone to one side and sleep. I think that is also something that's helping. What about you?
It's all about self-control, I guess. I don't know if I really have an answer for you, but I feel like even if you scroll, because I probably do daily when I'm obsessed about something or obsessed about a new collection coming out, or I do at least 2 or 3 times a week if it's just like normal times.
Mm.
And I think it's okay to scroll as long as you keep to your mindset shift. So referring back to what I said earlier, it's okay to scroll, I suppose, but let's say you look at something and you're really interested, or you're wondering if you should get it, or maybe you're kind of obsessing about it. Then you really have to ask yourself at that moment, kind of like stop yourself and ask, if I did buy it like right now, am I going to use it right away? So for me, that would be my kind of decision making factor, because if I'm just buying it because I feel like maybe I'll have a use for it, then no.
Mm.
I did scroll it, but I stopped myself from buying it at least. So it's in the decision making of whether you should make that purchase that where I would kind of limit myself. I'm gonna try to limit myself this year, because I don't know if I can absolutely stop scrolling,
Mm.
because we are content creators also. if you don't scroll or look around, what are you going to talk about? Like, how are you going to do your research?
That's true.
And
That's true.
it's also our interest. It's inspiration as well. Like, you look at just images of how it's being styled and things like that. It's gathering of ideas. So I do that anyway. But for me, the real sort of real important point is to stop myself from buying if I really don't need it, or if I'm not gonna not need it, but if I'm not gonna use it right away. Because needing is also a justification. You might justify that you will need that when you go to that thing, do that or whatever. Like, that's too far away. Right now, are you gonna use it now? Like, if you bought it now, are you gonna use it right now? If it's yes, then it's okay. Yeah, that's how
Yeah.
I look at it, because I don't know if I'll have enough of a self-control to like not scroll. I probably will still do it.
It's hard. It's hard. And the only reason I'm limiting my night scrolling is because it's affecting my sleep.
That one I totally
Oh,
agree, because I
it's like,
scroll like videos. I'm actually watching dramas on YouTube too, so it's terrible.
it's
TVB
terrible.
drama plus Korean drama on Netflix plus YouTube videos is like, oh my gosh, it's too much. That is a good one. Like, don't look at your phone at night. That is a
Or,
great one.
yeah, or limit it. Like, tell yourself, okay, I'll watch 5 videos. Occasionally, just I try, and it sort of works. Occasionally, I don't, but sometimes, like, okay, just concentrate. Okay, gotta go and sleep. You gotta go and sleep. Doesn't it helps that I'm actually tired, but it's just that urge of like, oh man, just a little bit more, just a little bit more. I don't,
I know.
and I don't even know why. I don't even know why.
Oh, I'm terrible at that. Like, I have to either not look at my phone, like literally I put on an audiobook, I leave it alone, don't touch it. Because if I'm already watching, I'll be watching for hours. I will be, trust me. So I better not look at it and just like fall asleep with that audiobook on,
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what I do. Well, that's what I have to do. I don't always do it, but I have to do that.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try audiobooks because I feel like when I'm on the bed, I'm just watching, but because I'm half asleep. Anyway, I'm like, I'm not really paying attention to the video, but it's maybe the voice of the YouTuber is just sharing something like, next thing I know, I'm asleep. Like, what the heck? What am I doing to myself? But yeah, I think I'm gonna try an audiobook. I think that would be more productive. Okay, I'm just scrolling down to all the comments, but I think it's just mainly comments, chatting. Oh, okay, here's one from Snowflake. Chanel didn't have any price increase between 2014 to 2017 either.
Mm.
You see, I feel like there is some truth to this excessive price increase. It's not something that we are dreaming of. Like, why are they doing it so
Yeah.
often? I don't think there were so many previously.
There weren't as many. I remember LV for several years, like at least 2015, 16, I felt like there was none. And then there might have been one in 2017. I remember because I bought my Neverfull after that price increase. But I remember before that there was none, or even if there was, I wasn't aware of, and it wasn't like a big jump if there was one. So it didn't feel as shocking because it wasn't like 25% jump, It might have been 2%, whatever percent. Yeah. It just didn't feel as crazy as this past year.
And significantly, like, when you really think like, oh my gosh, if I don't buy it now, I have to save another 1 year or something, like, or maybe the price increase, like what we are saying, right? We talked about it. It just crossed this invisible line of what?
Mhm.
We always bring up the jumbo, right? Because for me, the jumbo has crossed an invisible line of what? I bought it at just under 7,000 Singapore dollars. It's above 11,000 now. It's what?
Yeah. It is very crazy. And
No words.
yeah, it's just the shock of it. I think maybe because we're so sensible and we talk about all aspects of luxury, including pricing and everything. But if you look at just, a bit off topic, but if you look at just like the most essential needs, apparently food prices in Canada are going to jump by 6 to 8% this year.
Mm.
Due to like all kinds of reasons, crops loss, and like just the whole economical situation and everything. But 6 to 8% for such an essential need is a lot when you look at it from a whole year's perspective. And for some families, it's devastating, or it's going to be very, very challenging. So I know it's apples and oranges, but I guess for us, we're in this luxury community that talks about all things luxury, including making the best decision for yourself. So for us price increases are a big deal. They are. Yeah.
Yeah, they are. They are very, and it's difficult because this is on top of it being not an essential item. It is something that we put money aside to. So when we hear a price increase, you go like, yeah, it's not essential, but it just makes it makes us happy or whatever.
Yeah.
And so when we see such a significant, you go like, what even? And it's not good for our mental health. I mean, it's sad because you really work hard to put money aside for something that is not essential, right? And it's difficult to see things get so expensive and so
Yeah.
fast. So anyway,
Yep.
uh, okay, let me see. I'm scrolling down. There's a lot of comments. I see Maria. It's really good to see everybody just like, we're back, we're chatting.
Yes.
We're together again, the LUXEES. Oh man, live stream's awesome.
It's also
Okay.
good to get the groove back because we've been slacking off. Like Kat and I have been slacking so much. And I'm not even exaggerating by saying slacking, because I think I haven't filmed for since the week before our last live stream. And I filmed finally yesterday, but I felt so rusty. You had no idea how rusty I felt. Like it was very, very difficult to get that video out.
I totally understand where you are. I am super rusty. I think my video, yeah, I did like a little haul video. Even that was a bit like but yeah, a lot of people actually film in December because or they churn out videos in December because it's year end and there's lots of things to reflect on, whether it's best of this, best of that. But I don't know, December was tough. It was just like
Yeah.
it was like, okay, you know what? Can we just get over with 2020? Like and just affected the filming as well. Okay, and believe I love cats. Cat, I love the perspective. For me, it's like a shopping list of what I would need. Amy, there is nothing we need right now. I do use my Avalon blanket daily now. Haha, loving this.
Nice.
Yeah. It's just an experiment, people. You'll never know. It may change next month, but just thinking through it is also useful.
Mhm.
Holly's teasing me on this Doraemon. No wish list might make me buy the Doraemon collection. I know. But I think I have quite good self control with this situation because I'm not the biggest fan of Gucci. So that's like a blessing in disguise. Like I think if it was Doraemon LV, that's it.
Oh no. I hope they don't go there. I was actually, I don't know if I was surprised to see it, but I was a little surprised.
Yeah, I was.
Like
I was
I
a little
wasn't unhappy because I like Doraemon a lot, but I almost felt like, wow, they had to go there.
yeah. Why? Like, come on, leave them alone. But because there's this other collection that's coming out. well, it came out yesterday actually. Loewe and Totoro.
Mm,
And I've never watched Totoro before because
me
but
neither.
it's cute. It's cute. I have a big Totoro teddy bear. It's super cute. And this morning before this live, I actually turned on Netflix and I watched Totoro, my friend Totoro or something. Just watched it. Like it's like a really short animation, 1 hour. And now I see the appeal because oh my god, he is cute. It's very heartwarmingly you can connect to it, so it's very heartwarming, and it's just it makes you feel, yeah, like this furry rabbit thing. So yeah, I can see why people are actually going crazy on the Loewe Totoro collection. Yeah, it's out now.
I guess ultimately, if you really, really love it after checking it out in person, then just get it. I mean, I know we're talking about self-control and all those things, but at the end of the day, if it's really something that makes your heart sing, then go for it. It's just that I guess for cat, what would you do? What should you do? Would you
for,
actually go and look at it at least and try it on? Would you?
for Totoro or Doraemon?
Doraemon.
Oh man, girl, I'm trying my best not to.
Then just don't go if you really want to just keep that because you already started your ball rolling in the purging journey. If you don't want to disrupt this, then don't go. Don't look at it.
This is like the addict trying to chain myself to the bed, like, don't do it, please. You know, there's this is, I think we talked about this also. There's this logical brain, and there's the heart brain. So the logical brain is screaming like, cat, you don't even like Gucci, cat. They are just paying royalties to Doraemon. You can get like logical cat is screaming at her top of her lungs. But the other, like, the hard cat's like, shut up. I gotta go. But anyway, yeah, coming back to your point about just, I will go and I think I will go and see it, but it might be good practice to see how much self-control I have. Like I'm quite confident I will walk away unscathed.
Yeah, maybe walk away from it. Like check it out just to see what the deal is. Maybe it's not even that nice anyway, but even if it is,
Just
sleep
don't
on
buy
it
it.
like you said.
Yes. Yeah,
Wait.
sleep on.
Yeah. We'll
But
see how
anyway.
long you can last.
Everybody, there was a betting table, everybody's betting. Oh, man. Okay, I'm just gonna scroll. Okay, Amanda's asking any recommendation bum bag. Oh, any bum bag recommendations for a guy? Want to get one for the hub? Bum bags. I guess with luxury, right? So
Yeah.
many now, so many.
Yeah, I thought that even LV has a few like guys version that are really nice. The damier graphite pattern, if I remember correctly. Yeah, there's just so many. How you had your bum bag for a while, so what do you think about it? And because in the end you let it go as well.
So I really liked the bum bag, but I found that I okay, no, firstly, I let it go after I realized that the quality on the strap wasn't so good. I actually had to get it replaced. So anyway, it was
Mm,
almost new. But I think one thing that I realized I mm, didn't find that I would use is that it's set on my back. I think from a function, it just didn't go with my whole groove anymore. Like it just you need to have a look to carry a bum bag. It's kapow LV and right in front of your chest. And it's the whole the whole look and the trend and all. So I found that even though a lot of people say I look good with it, I just personally didn't find that I connected with the bum bag. As a bag itself, it was so cool because the bag is in front of you. Um, you could get your things in and out very easily. But yeah, I think the whole look, I feel like it looked better on other people, and I thought it looked good on me. But when I wore it, I just didn't feel connected to the bum bag.
Mm.
So it's a little strange. Even though when I look at the pictures, I say, yeah, okay, you look kind of cool. But when I actually used it, I just didn't sit right. I don't know why.
I think it's also because you have a pretty petite frame. Because I did try the bum bag myself.
Hmm.
It was so trendy, everyone had one. But yeah, exactly. Like I would only wear crossbody because I think if I tried to wear it on the waist, it would just fall
Huge.
down anyway. So wearing a crossbody, it's quite a large bag and it's like right in front of your chest. So it actually takes up the whole area. So I think that's probably why you felt like it was a little overwhelming because that's how I felt.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Everyone said that's the look. So maybe after actually having it and trying it and using it, I was a bit like, yeah, it's the look, but I just don't think that's the look that I'm comfortable with.
Mhm.
Even though in pictures it looks kind of cool, but in
Yeah.
reality, it just felt a bit much.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
interesting, right? I think that's why I think a lot of people, after they have a bag, and even for me, like after I use it, I realize that it just does it doesn't click. It
Yeah.
doesn't click.
Yeah.
And that's the sad reality, an expensive reality, but it
Oh,
happens. It happens, right? It happens.
I'm realizing that we're at the 2 hour mark
Oh,
officially too.
wow. Wow, 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 wow. Okay, I'm gonna I don't think a lot of it is just comments. So yeah, audiobooks. Okay. Okay.
It's good to see everyone back. Like I've missed this routine. I feel like I needed to get back on a routine as well, just to self-motivate. Because if I have to show up, I have to show up, right?
That's true, we were having it was a good break, like really, like, wow, I didn't have to do anything on Saturday, but it's not that I'm complaining. It's just that it just felt like, like when you go on a holiday, you're like, oh my gosh, I have nothing to do.
You need a holiday after a holiday.
Yeah, yeah,
Get
yeah.
back from
And
a holiday. So no more holiday for us.
it's really good to see everybody and chat with everybody on the, like we said, today's chat. It might be a bit heavy because we are actually just thinking through our process, and it's good that everybody's also, chipping in and sharing your thoughts. So next week we're gonna have one more of a deep dive on things that we actually do when we're setting this mindset. So this
Mhm.
is not something that we just like came up overnight. This is something that we've been feeling for the past few months. And I've done something, and I think Amy is also going to share next week. So make sure you join us next week, Amy's channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, that will be really fun. And you're gonna do a show and tell.
Yeah, I will. I'll just line them up in front of my like right there or maybe right here so that we'll have some eye candy while we pick your brain a little bit, and then maybe I'll be able to like have that light bulb thing go on as well, or at least we it's a continuation of today's chat basically.
Totally, totally. And a little hint for everybody: if you're looking for something from Amy's
Oh
collection,
my
it's good.
gosh. We don't know yet, but okay.
It's
We'll
good
see.
to
We'll
come
see.
and say, Amy, are you gonna sell this? Amy, I would like that.
I'm too nervous to sell anything right now. I'm like, no, I don't want to let anything go. But no, we'll see. We'll see what. It'll be fun to watch. It'll be fun to just kind of like, you know, see what
Talk
you
through
guys
it,
think
right?
as well.
Totally, totally. All
But
right,
it's
guys.
glad to see everyone back, and yeah, don't forget to join us every week going forward.
Yep, still 12 o'clock Singapore, Singapore side, on Saturdays, and Friday nights, 8 p.m., where
Mhm.
Canada is. All right. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Don't forget to like this video. I will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.